Hello everyone! Ice Hearts Part 10 out of 11. 11 is the final number. Hospital trip. Yay! God damn, I was struggling so hard with this episode in terms of recording. Hopefully it's not going to be hurt too much. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. This wasn't the way he imagined his morning to go. He flinched as the door slammed close, unwanted memories flooding his mind. Things were supposed to be different now. They were supposed to have a nice breakfast together before Kyotane would go to practice and KyouHaba would wait for him. Why did it have to go so wrong? He slumped on the chair, hiding his face in his palms. Why couldn't Kyotane understand he couldn't like hockey anymore? Not after everything. Not after the memories of the boards and waking up in the hospital, unable to move his legs. And not after his ex-boyfriend. Why did the person he liked have to be dedicated to a sport he couldn't even look at? He would love to go and cheer on Kyotane. He would love to be there at the stadium and celebrate his goals and wins. But he couldn't. The constant sight of bodies hitting the ice, one another, and boards making him nauseous and cold. He didn't mean to yell. He didn't want to argue with Kyotane, especially after how much the man did for him. But all his fears came crashing into him, causing him to lose his temper over something that could be, under normal circumstances, dealt with by a calm talk. But there was nothing normal about this. He grabbed his phone, calling his most used contact. Yep, listening. I think I fucked up. Huh? With what? Don't tell me you accidentally recolored his laundry or something. What? No, He left the flat. Quite angry, I would say. Did you two argue? Yeah, he invited me to his match today. And doesn't it start in like 5 minutes or so? KyouHaba furrowed his brow and Wataru sighed. I can tell what you are thinking. My girlfriend is their fan, so we are watching it on TV. But shouldn't you be there too if we invited you? You know, cheering on your boyfriend and stuff. He's not my boyfriend, and I told him I won't come. What? Why? Because I don't need to see a bunch of people pushing each other around, racing after a small black thing. Wataru let out a long, exasperated sigh. Oh my god, Shigeru, you can be such an idiot sometimes, you know? Shinji, you know why I don't want to go. Why I don't want to see a hockey match ever again. I'm not going to change my mind just because I... He stopped. Wasn't it a bit early to say that? He could feel Wataru on the other end raising his eyebrow. Because you what? Because I love him. And he loves you. But he clearly loves hockey too, and apparently wants to share that love with you. You said it yourself. He's kind and you feel safe with him, so that's one of your problems with hockey out of the way. And they have much better protection gear than you had, so the injuries aren't that often, so that's the second problem out. It's not that easy, Shinji. Fine, I admit I'm simplifying it, but my point stands. If you at least gave it a shot. But no, you have to shoot him down like this. He tried curling with you because he knows you love it, so why can't you do the same for him? KyouHaba rubbed his eyes. He knew Wataru was right. He knew Kyotane was right to be angry with him. But he was also right in his way. Neither of them could feel what he felt when he just about watched the ice rink, the helplessness and fear and pain all over again as if it all happened just a week ago. He couldn't just forget that, no matter how much he loved Kyotani. Was it selfish from him? Probably. He looked up, his gaze falling on the framed photo of Kyotani and his dad on the pond, on the happy smile Kyotani had on his face when he held his hockey stick, and the proud look in his father's eyes. It probably makes him feel closer to his dad when he's on the ice, playing. He mentally kicked himself. He observed Kyotani was really fond of his father, but he never put it together. And now he refused to share the happiness Kyotani felt just because of his stupid fears. He would gladly bang his head on the table. How could you mess up so bad? He checked the clock and grabbed his coat and scarf. I have to go. Thanks for the talk. Yeah, no worries. Go get your man and talk properly, okay? I'm sure he will understand if you tell him the whole story. I will, thank you. He ended the call, hopping on one leg to get his shoes on. He locked the door and ran on the bus to the stadium, already looking up the tickets for sale. He managed to get one ticket for standing at the last minute and raced to the entrance, cursing the delayed bus. A quick glance at the clock told him the match was in the second third already, so there went his chance to speak with Kyotani before the game. He was sure he wouldn't be allowed into the cabins, which meant he would have to catch up with him after the match ends. He took a deep breath walking into the stands, the cheering of the spectators almost deafening him as he walked in right as one team scored. It had been a long time since he entered a hockey stadium, and cold shivers ran down his spine seeing the players hitting the boards. He quickly moved to the space for standing and tried to catch up with the game, trying not to focus too much on the physical aspect of it. Kentaro said there's more to it, so there has to be more to it. Speaking of the devil, he spotted Kyotani's number 16 on the ice now in the defense. He furrowed his brow. Kyotani's movement was much slower than how he remembered it from the practices. There was no drive in his skating, nothing from his typical ferocity. As if he didn't even want to be there. As if he's not enjoying it at all. His heart sank. Was this the result of their argument? It had to be, unless some horrible news came through in the meantime. You always took so much pride in skating, so much joy. Where is it now? Where did it go? He clenched his fists as the Aoba Josai team went into heavy defense. Come on, switch back on, please. This is what you love. You can't let it slip away now. You can't let the joy run out. As if Kyotani heard his thoughts, he suddenly picked up speed and sprinted over the lines, chasing after the puck. KyouHaba held his breath, silently pushing Kyotani to go faster, when his opponent, in the attempt to poke-check the puck, hooked the stick in Kyotani's skates. In the same moment, Kyotani lost his balance and crashed headfirst into the boards. The whole stadium hummed and then fell eerily silent. KyouHaba's heart stopped, his blood running cold as he watched Kyotani sag on the ice like a rag doll, and the players on the ice immediately calling for medical assistance. Frozen in place, he just stared at the people, players and medics alike, gathered around Kyotani's motionless form. All the memories, fears and helplessness crashing into him like a truck and knocking the air out of his lungs. Please no, this can't be happening. Please be okay, give the thumbs up, please. The medics carefully hauled Kyotani up onto the stretchers, moving him off the ice. There was no sign from him, no thumbs up meaning he was at least conscious. The ground swayed under KyouHaba's feet. He broke out of the stupor and sprinted to the exit and out of the stadium to look for the place where ambulance cars were usually parked. However, when he finally got there, He only saw the blinking blue lights at the other end of the parking lot. Damn it! He raked his fingers through his hair, his breath ragged and frantic. Someone has to know something. Someone. He fumbled with his phone, looking for the old contact. Oikawa picked up almost immediately, as if he had the phone ready in hand. Haba-chan, where are you? There's been... You have to help me, please. I need to know where... How is... You know their captain, please. Someone has to know something. Haba. Please, I need to go to him. Shigeru. Haba shut up, a strangled sob escaping his throat. He hastily wiped his eyes. It's my fault. If I didn't say all those things, he would... Haba, breathe, okay? Tell me where you are, I'll come too. The back of the stadium. I wanted to go, but they were gone and... Alright, stay there, okay? Take deep breaths, I'll be there in a minute. Haba nodded, even though he knew Oikawa couldn't see him. He ended the call and hugged his middle, trying in vain to block all the horror scenarios his mind was supplying him with. This isn't happening. Please tell me it's just some horrid dream. Please. He felt absolutely overwhelmed, all the emotions crashing into him in waves, not giving him time to breathe. He knew he was panicking, but he couldn't stop it. The scene from Ice was firmly engraved into his mind, replaying it to him on repeat, over and over again. His stomach rolled when he recalled the hollow bank when Kiltanis had collided with the boards, the way his body just sag on the ice like a ragdoll, the silence, the absolute silence when... He didn't hear Oikawa coming until the man squeezed his shoulder. Tears spilled from his eyes as his former arrival hugged him firmly, murmuring quiet reassurances into his ear. It will be fine, Haba-chan. I'm sure he will be okay. But it's my fault. He wasn't focused and it was my fault. If I just... Shh. That's not true. Things like this happen sometimes. You can't really do anything about it. But we argued and now he's hurt. He wasn't conscious when they... What if he did something to his neck? Or head? What if he won't be able to play anymore? It's his life. He can't... He would be so shattered if... Haba, stop blaming yourself. Hockey is a tough game. They know it. Nothing is without risk. You know that better than most. I didn't even get to apologize. What if he gets amnesia or something and forgets everything I can't lose him. Not like this. Oikawa squeezed his arms, his eyes firm enough for Haba to stop rambling. That won't happen, okay? He's a strong guy. He'll make it just fine. I know it. Now take a deep breath. Haba took a shattered breath, following Oikawa's example. He dug his nails into his forearm, feeling his lower lip and hands trembling. But the breathing helped at least a bit, and he could feel the panic slowly calming down, leaving just fear and guilt swirling in his chest. He wiped his eyes, his fingers straying into his hair, tugging and pulling. Oikawa grabbed his wrist and guided his hand from his scalp. You should stop doing this. You'll hurt yourself. That's the point. He gritted his teeth, mentally cursing himself for sliding into the old wrong mindset. He sighed and lowered his gaze. I know. Sorry. Oikawa smiled. Good. It will be fine. I'll call Hajime. He should have at least some info. They ended the match early, so they should already be changing. Haba nodded absent-mindedly, not taking his eyes off the ground. I'm so sorry, Kentaro. Please be okay. It didn't take long before the captain of the hockey team, Iwaizumi, Yahaba recalled, rushed out of the stadium's back exit, nodding at Yahaba and giving a quick kiss to Oikawa. I don't know much, just that they are suspecting concussion and that he hasn't woken up yet, but nothing specific. Yahaba's head spun, his vision blurring. He wasn't focused, right? That's why it happened. Iwaizumi sighed and squeezed his shoulder. No, it's not. He could let the puck go, but he chose to chase it. He couldn't know the other guy would try to poke the puck out. He might have been a bit out of it because you argued, but that's not the reason this happened, so don't blame yourself, okay? He zipped up his jacket and motioned for them to follow. Let's go. I know which hospital they took him to. They should get there in a few minutes. Oikawa draped his arm over Yahaba's shoulders, carefully steering him to one of the cars. Yahaba, moving on autopilot, let himself be led forward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. The last chapter is super long. Yeah, so... But it wouldn't be on 3 parts, so as I said, 11 is the final number. And then I'm going to do the supercut version of this, so it's all in one place for those of you who would want to watch the whole story. Whew. Today is not my day. Nah. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time.